out the gym. Take a look at my legacy, I gotta let them see I'm out here winning, cause I'm on a mission. Put me in the game, cause the way I'm feeling, I honestly do not see no competition. I gotta get it, so it ain't no quitting. We jumped off the benches and jumped in the trenches. No one is better than all of us, and that's why all of us been winning from the beginning. It's more than a care, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game. Yeah, put me in the game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. Hey coach, put me in the game.
At the confluence of the three rivers, the Ohio, the Allegheny, and the Monongahela, we are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. This one fielded at the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now ETN to start the drive. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they could be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. With that run right there, that slows down the crowd.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time: completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. ETN once more. And some room to roam now. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
There on the tackle, Minka Fitzpatrick. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in the win over Carolina.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And the Jaguars are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the board.
And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Trevor Lawrence scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Jags are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. A very solid gain of 27.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Chad Muma fighting all the way through and getting the sack.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Andre Sisco.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
They'll start on the ground, ETN. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on
I
that.
think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They'll look to throw again. He's got it. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Deontay Johnson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have got it back to within a score. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go. On first down, right back to Etienne. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, we saw these defenders fly into the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Cole Holcomb. And the Steelers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward, incomplete pass. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game. Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They go play action now. Lawrence. He's going to go up top again. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? If it's kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And he's down into the red zone at the 16 after a gain of 16. 1st and 10.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
It's a good effort there after the catch. He looked the ball in and then tried to get it to the goal line. What a nice tackle to get him down. But they're set up well now. 1st and goal at the 1.
And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak, no place to go.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Etienne will score. Touchdown, Jacksonville. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it first and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for them, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game. And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On second and 11 now, Lawrence completes it to Evan Ingram. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now a first and 10 at the 11. Etienne up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They're backed up here with a first and 20 now after the holding penalty. Running out of the gun with Etienne. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be second down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Throwing on second and long. Lawrence. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Evan Ingram. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This fielded right at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. But such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is and oftentimes is successful. But in this case...
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Travis Etienne on his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taking it about the 1. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Facing this big first-half deficit, they keep the field goal unit on the sideline. They're going for it. Back to throw again. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Lawrence on third down. Got a man, that's Colin Johnson. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, but that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance.
And now two problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Out of the gun now on third down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now here is another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the give, this is Harris. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now back to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. He's going to let it go again. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a give, running left is Harris. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch taken here at the 5-yard line. Interesting. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Lawrence from his end zone. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A give running right, Etienne. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Lawrence. And Ingram hauls it in. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that score.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. David Njoku. 36 yards. And the Steelers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Point after, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. The partner is still in the third quarter, but they've got this one well in hand and still airing it out with gusto and picking up some nice gains.
And even in lopsided games like this, you don't really see starters get lifted or the foot come off the gas before the fourth quarter. No one wants to leave any doubt when they're playing well. They just want to continue the process.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Jaguars have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
He's got this to Pickens. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They hand this off to Harris. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Steelers on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs.
Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
If you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap, been a big... Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Early down stuffs have put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Partner, we read a great article this week arguing for him to be Defensive Player of the Year. Normally, sacks are the big thing that people point to, but what he's done in the secondary has been something special.
It has been, because it's been an all-around game for him, taking the ball away, rushing the quarterback and sacking him himself, doing a number of different things that change the way the game is played.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. Second and 11 now. He'll drop to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
This is Harris. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 29 yards. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, 30, 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
And that's the type of run that you'll live with. In this game, he's had a good number of carries. He's just been unable to really break off anything substantial.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. And they take a knee. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Out is Carlson now for the Raider field goal from 28 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jags come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Jags,
They moved to 9-7 on the year with one